Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, how do I sound there?
Yeah. %5 of the 23,000 that they've committed to us. We had a rent of $200, general supplies $42, accounting fees, in other words, the accounting paying the wages for the accountant, $253. And we had given $500 to the Arkansas Chili Cook-Off in part of the grant. Our total expenses was $995. Our current liabilities would be for the $15,000 that we need to pay the city by the end of the year. We have an approved budget from last month, and we were lucky to have gotten the credit card approved, and we have it operative at this point.
All right. Anybody have any questions right now on the financials?
No.
All right. Not any questions on that. We'll move on to the business. First item on the list is discussion on the website. We are still a little bit delayed, but they are working on the website. They were delayed from the previous. There won't be any change in the amount. They're still set at the amount that we had approved and done. I hope to get a hold of them early this week to get details on when that would be done, but I did not get a hold of them today. So as soon as they're done, we'll see that come online. Anybody have any questions on that one?
Nope.
Nope, sounds good.
All right, moving on to discussion on attorney. This has been a long ordeal so far. We still do not have an attorney at this point to deal with the Airbnb and VRBO stuff. We have been turned down by a handful of attorneys so far in taking the project. So I reached out to some other ones that have come down the list, and that is where we sit right now with it.
Okay.
We've got no interest from the city attorney at this point in time. So,
Okay. I've reached out, or haven't actually reached out yet, but to the actual attorneys themselves, but did find a contact to kind of maybe lead me in the right direction. So hopefully tomorrow I have that information to pass on to you.
okay. All right, I will look for that, and hopefully some of these other ones that we've contacted will reply back to us, and we can get something going on that deal. Any other questions on the attorney? If not, moving on to update on Highway 23 billboard. I think, Ben, you have the information for the Highway 23 billboard?
I'm sorry, are you speaking with me?
Yes.
Yes, okay, sorry about that. Yes, it's in production, and I don't have a date. I hadn't been updated yet on when they are going to install it, but I would assume probably any time within the next week to 10 days, possibly, based on the last email that we, got saying they could get back to us and let us know when it's going to happen, but expected it to be within about 2 weeks' time. So we're probably a week to 10 days out on that before we know when it's going to be installed. But it should be within the next 2 weeks, I would think, from now installed, depending on weather, I guess.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions on Highway 23 billboard? All right. Moving on to update on funding by City of Holiday Island.
Gateway.
I have it at the very end of that.
Okay.
Secretary, you want to update us on the funding by the City of Holiday Island?
Right. We received the $15,000 that they, 65% of what they committed. It's in the checking account right now, and all is good.
Okay. And we also have the new card from them also that came in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on to appointment of A&P Commissioner. I was hoping to have somebody to appoint and have yet to hear back from them today. So we are still sitting with an open spot without anybody definite on taking a seat. That has to be a short-term rental owner or manager, restaurant owner or manager, or somebody from the tourism industry that has a business here. They have to live inside the county. So we're still looking for one person to fill that, and I would expect the city to fill the additional city council seat maybe as early as their next meeting, which is 18th. So We still have 2 open seats, and hopefully we'll get them posted sometime soon. Moving on to the gateway sign. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with that gateway sign. It's coming from Rogers towards Holiday Island when you get to Gateway before you go under the bridge.
Yeah, I just passed it here about an hour ago, and on the way there. But at any rate, yeah, it's definitely something to talk about. It needs some work.
And I've got, I guess, we have the Gateway Billboard lease agreement sitting here. You've also got a bid.
Right. I asked Dave Durbin, who originally brought this to our attention, to repair the sign. His bid would be filling in that section. It came in 3 sections, about 4 foot by 8 foot.
That's right.
Initially, the 2 sides and the middle was actually a large golfer that stood above and below the signs itself. To fill in that space, and the plywood and existing sign would be $1,631 that he would repair that sign for it to be wrapped instead of a painted wooden sign. There are some trees, he said, around there, so that would be a separate cost if we go that route, because they've just been overgrown. It's highly visible. People will see it before they get into Eureka, so they would be turning. I did talk to the estate that has the sign, and they're willing for $800 annually a lease that we could continue using that particular billboard.
Okay. I guess I have a question on that. With the repairs that are needed, will this trust make a deal? I mean, this is their sign that we would be leasing from them. Would they cut the cost in half for repairing the sign? I'm sure it's an eyesore on the property at this point right now. Is there any leeway to deal with them on our cost to repair the sign and get it up to shape to actually lease it and do something?
Since we just got the bid this afternoon, I'd be happy to give them a call and explain the need to repair, and maybe the first year we could arrange for something better. The son, who's a trustee, is just interested in giving his mother, who lives across the street, additional funding.
I mean, I'd even look at it at the part if we can get that repairing of the board. You said it was about $1,600.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about $800 rental a month. I would even look at doing some longer agreement on the board itself, either a 4-year contract at that rate, and let them remove the amount of the expenses for repairing the board over a 2-year or 3-year period of that to reduce the yearly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That way they don't have, they're still getting something in there, but it would at least show faith of repairing that and getting it up and not being an eyesore anymore, and to get it in place.
Okay.
If they want to reduce that cost per the fixing of that sign over a period of time.
Okay, I'll be glad to give him a call. Any other suggestions?
Anybody else?
No, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, the section number 5 says that the lessor shall ensure the structural integrity of the billboard and conduct necessary repairs. So is any of that structural, or is it all just the advertising material that needs to be repaired?
Good question.
This was an AI generated. I made this, so we could change it. They have not seen this yet.
Oh, okay,
So if we
Okay.
want to take out number 7
okay.
and number 8,
Number five.
number
The
5
maintenance repair deal.
and number 7,
Yep.
okay?
We probably have to rewrite that to have a longer period of time, like 4 years of
Right.
rental at that $800 rate, with the cost of repairing and getting that sign back into shape being prorated over the 3-year period.
Okay. I will change the lease agreement and talk with them about it and bring it back to the committee.
That'll work. We'll do that. We don't have to, with it still in development, I guess we don't necessarily have to table it. We weren't actually taking a motion on approving it, I guess, at this point. It was just a discussion on it.
Well, I think, we were still discussing whether this is what we want to do this year.
Well, that's true too. Anybody have any inputs on that? Is this something that we want to do? Do we want to go after that part of it, or?
I said yes. I said let's go for it.
Okay,
We have the money in the reserve fund,
okay.
and this is a permanent, 4 year, this is permanent.
Yep. I would say, let's see what we can work out on the terms,
Okay,
and then bring it back and we can vote on it and approve it. I think if we got it close to terms, we would have something worth having a 4-year period for.
okay, good,
Sounds
thank
good.
you.
Moving on to new business. Discussion on workshop meeting for A&P permits. There are quite a few of the permits for A&P that have asked for us to have a workshop where they could show up here, ask questions, get online and ask questions pertaining to the actual tax collection and the process through it. And so we would have one in February at some point for them, not a regular meeting, but an actual workshop for the actual tax collection part. The date for that, I kind of want to propose in, and we can do this when we get to scheduling, was February 17th. That is a actual holiday. That is President's
President's
Day,
Day.
correct? So it's President's Day, but it may give us an opportunity to have more people tune in, come to the meeting to actually talk about the tax collection part, because there is definitely a lot of confusion with the different accounts.
Yeah.
Yep. So I want to try to get them here, answer their questions, and talk through it all,
I'm good with that date.
and we can
I'm good with the date.
we can cover that during the scheduling part of that. But it was just an item that, as I've talked to multiples or emailed multiple different ones, they've always asked for some meeting to be just for the time to ask questions and go through the actual process of the tax collection and form filling of that whole deal.
Does Tabby have the forms already filled out? As far as, that we could use as a hard copy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we could project it on the screen?
We can put it up on the screen. We can also set it up for that day for people that tune in online to also be able to show them up there on the screen
Okay.
in the thing. So it would take us a little bit longer to get things set up before the meeting, but with this system, we are able to display items into the stream
We can
itself.
sit here and talk all day, but some
Yep.
people have to actually see it
Yeah,
to understand it, and I think that would help ease a lot of the explanation on it.
yeah.
Good point.
Sarah, do you know if she would be here for that meeting?
We ask her to, she's off that day, so I would hope that she could be. She knows about it.
Okay. And if we could have her here for that day, we could display even online for the people remotely
Yeah,
and walk through all the different parts of it and what's gonna happen. And I know there's still a change that we have to make in that form that has to do with VRBO. Because VRBO is still gonna allow people to collect the tax and remit the tax themselves. It's not all gonna be redeemed by VRBO. So,
Told you so.
I know, it was there.
So what time are we gonna have that meeting? Is it
6.
6?
Yeah.
6, I believe, yeah. All right, moving on from that, the other addition was the photo release. And y'all should all have a piece of paper with that. This is for either locations where we shoot content, people in the photo, people that want to give us images or content to use. It's kind of across the board generic for the right to be able to use the content. At this point, we haven't had any.
I believe Ben said that there were several short-term rentals that want the drone to come over
Yep.
and want us to use it. And if
Okay.
that's the case, then we thought you need a photo release form so that you go on record saying that you're allowed to use it.
Yeah,
And this second one was, if we have drones going over our events, you can't get everybody's approval to be recorded. But by posting this notice throughout, they are put on record that they're going to get photographed
Okay.
and recorded. And if they don't want to be, they would not go in, basically.
yeah.
This is not stopped.
Stay under their tent.
Yeah, this type of notice is not stopped
Yeah,
people from going in, and it's been used before.
Sure.
okay.
I don't have any problems with that. I don't mind. I'll make a motion to approve the photo release form with the contingency that we come back and write this in a resolution at some point as an attachment to that. But we can go ahead and use it currently if we want to approve it and go forward with it. But then we can come back and write a resolution so that we can amend that form anytime we want to in that,
Okay.
so.
I've got a question. Being property manager, I have several houses.
Yep.
Would I have to send this to all my homeowners?
This is only for the people that want to use the drone services and images and stuff. That would be
I'd want to send it to
correct.
my homeowners and have them sign it and send it back to me with permission to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we would give the addresses, that's the idea.
Okay.
Ben would have the addresses, so he would make sure the drones got there.
Yeah, that sort of thing, but that could also change a little bit with some of the future stuff that I'm kind of dealing with right now with that group that's coming in the 21st. And if everybody gets signed up on this other platform, if you will, they'll have the opportunity to have it individually done at their property, just like they would if they called this company to come list it. So we're hoping that this company is going to be working with us to let all the STR owners on board, perhaps for free the first year or something, to get, that many on their platform. And they're really, happy about that, obviously. But it may include them getting individual content made, and it just comes, then we're just getting it from the company, just like we are Cameron over in Eureka, or Parker, that that already did some footage for us and that sort of thing. So it could come from individuals, or perhaps this company takes a deal for all of them, and we have them all in one spot. But yeah, I think the release form's fine, other than need to amend it with a resolution.
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we also need the drone operators to sign this also for the photo and
Yeah,
video
I think
information.
anybody we're getting content from was the idea. I think.
And while we're at it, we're talking about the drone stuff. Did we have an expense for a drone in this past month with the snow stuff? Did we have anything?
Yeah, I turned it in, and waiting on Parker to give me some documentation to get to have it, but it's in the works. So
Okay.
it was 150.
Okay.
All right.
We have a first.
We do have a motion.
We have a motion
to approve.
first. We need a second.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we can use that form in use now. I'll write resolution for it that we can then amend in the future and have
I
it as
just
an
have
exhibit.
Just have,
Okay. Thanks.
here, you can take this copy.
I'll get that changed. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Commissioner comments. Any comments at all?
Do you have any comments, Ben?
I do not.
Okay.
I don't guess I really have any comments other than there's still a lot of work going on in the background to get all this stuff done for the tax thing, the attorneys, the Airbnb, everything going forward. We are almost the middle of February, and I believe we're a little bit behind on getting that all in place. So hopefully we can get that all wrapped up in the next week or two and get something going. Any other commissioner comments?
Nope.
Public comments. guess we'll see if we have anybody viewing. There are no current viewers right now online. There were earlier, but there aren't right now, so we won't have any public online comments. Scheduling, we do have the
217.
2/17 President's Day workshop for the SDRs.
And our next regular meeting would be March 3rd at 6 o'clock, first Monday.
March 3rd,
Mhm.
the next regular meeting. All right. Announcements. Secretary, do you have any announcements?
Just a reminder that we do have a Valentine's dinner sponsored by the Holiday Island Auxiliary Fire Department as a fundraiser, $20. If the last time I can get tickets sold is this Thursday, so please give me a call or stop in at the chamber and enjoy a beautiful beef dinner as well as some entertainment from the 2019 Tenor of the Year.
And I also want to put out the chili cook-off. We did do a grant on advertising on that deal, and the post started going out online. We actually have it on our social media page.
The
That is up there.
Arkansas Chili Cook-Off is April 12th. It'll be at the barn this year. The same $10. You get to choose and vote for the chili of your choice. In connection with that, we have the Community Connect. So any organization or business, church is welcome to have a free exhibit booth to connect with each other and to remind our new people what's available in this beautiful city, and to get our old people, like me, to remember what we have available. It's, the Community Connect is 11 to 4 at the barn, and the chili cook-off is from noon to 4. So we hope everybody shows up and enjoy friendship and food.
Very good. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
We have a motion.
I second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody's in favor. This motion is passed and this meeting is adjourned.